Hail and well met, 'tis I, Bard. They, them, and she, her, welcoming you once again to the mad realm. And in today's tale of mortality, I shall tell you about the scale of Ascensscia, its continents and its seas in some capacity, and how mortals traverse and travel upon them. For it is known that Ascensscia is a massive world. To walk the whole of its surface would take 100 lifetimes of undaunted traversing. Furthermore, its underground domains span as much surface and deeper until the realm below gives way to stranger realities. The journey of humanity to inhabit every land before them is so ancient, it lies between the times of Mythicon and the histories of the peoples remembered only in scattered artifacts. In the modern post-rifting world, the planet of Asenscia has less human habitation than in its thousands of planets that composed the mortal realms. Very little of the world is populated by mortals. The few billion humans exist in nigh total isolation from settlement to settlement by unruly terrain. A trail of human settlements branching off from a single city can be traced every generation and upon every land. For every successful territory claimed, 2 more die in the dark. Established paths are the veins mortal life is sustained by. Rarely are new expeditions in the wilds amassed except following the approval of venturers. A kingdom may claim land from one border to another, but the actual land is held only in thought, and the border marks, marred by the viscera of war against beast and rival, are tenuously maintained. Not every aspect of the land is marked, and every year new maps are created to fill in the gaps for future generations to conquer. Many mortal holdings, too, are unmarked and not yet found or forgotten in the deep earth as ruins. If humanity was a fire, its wax drippings smatter the darkness as failures of settlement, and a faint coil of smoke and embers marks where villages and towns grow into blazing cities. Such a large planet presents troubles for traveling. Traveling from one settlement to another, a person must follow a road followed since time immemorial for days, weeks, or months while on the lookout for hostile weather, magic, beasts, and people. For this reason, Ascenssians are generally faster than their ancestors, as they take long and fast gaits more resembling a prancing jog than a typical walk. It is generally faster to travel by water. The waves and winds of the ocean expeditiously quicken travel. If the gods are kind, a journey overseas can carry one so far they find themselves on another continent faster than they may find themselves from one city to another. Travel between the continents is common for those of means, and the goods and peoples of all the continents can be found in ports around the world. Some cultures focus upon the sea more than others and may be found everywhere, the pioneers of human connection, for better and worse. Every new connection is celebrated and invested by all who can afford to fund it. When such a find occurs, the people do not bare their daggers, but offer open arms and alms. Little woe is found between peoples in the wild or pathfinders. Every Ascenssian culture begins their stories following the creation of humanity with the arduous journey of its ancestors through lands racked with hate. It is an existential woe for scholars and travelers alike that there are lands with peoples they shall never know exist. So large is Asenscia. Now hearken these words of one whom has come and gone, lost and been lost, loved and been loved. I have may walk as far as I can walk, and shall never know the end of the horizon. All others after me may find the same, but ever shall there be an end. All directions end, and at the end of this journey all undertake shall be another who too shall walk as far as they can walk. And upon seeing one another,
we shall take one step more on broken legs and blistered feet until our aching muscles slaw off our bones so two hands may touch and know the warmth of another human.
In the year 5025 of the Ascended Reckoning, there are 5 continents and 2 oceans. In the beginning, there was once a single continent stitched together from the many planets of the mortal realms. Over 5,000 years, innumerable sorcerous events have shifted Ascensscia into its modern form. These continents are Dacrea and Meridia, Occidentalis and Polyglossia and Nuba. To the north, separating the temperate area from the warmer climes, is the Ocean of Conquerors, held up by its larger sibling, the Verdant Ocean. The continents of Asenscia are wild hinterlands barely conquered by humanity, whose domain clings to life like a candle on a windy night. Each continent hosts more beasts than humans and has environments of all kinds, be they magical or natural. To sustain itself, humanity must take up the sword and walk the roads. Since the rifting, the dominance of humanity has shrunk significantly. Trillions of mortals existed across the myriad planets of the mortal realms. Then the rifting tore it apart and reformed the universe into Ascensscia. In only several years, trillions were slaughtered or mutated to a maddening end, creating a million. Those remaining million or so further died until only their descendants, primogeniture humans and their kin, remained, the new people for a new world. Over time, the population would grow and settlements became cities and expanded into dominions. The roads that once connected peoples were overtaken by nature and needed to be replaced. Each and every year, venturers set out into the wilds to map and slay any threats to human conquest. Once they have returned, if they do, cartographers and occult scholars convene to determine the best times to begin road work. Priests and mercenaries accompany road builders or naval fleets to bless these layers of connection. The building of a road or charting of a stable seaway requires much strong work to clear any obstacles that present themselves. The construction of a path may take many years as nature lashes out against mortality or wars distract from the completion of a road. With every cobblestone set in place and every sign hammered into the ground, another avenue of human dominance is furthered. For its settlements, these roads are crucial to maintaining connections to cities which have supplies not found in the wild. On the seas, complex maps needing years of study are amassed and compared to the flow of nature and magic as it relates to the speed and safety of traversing the open waters. Be it by sea or land, the roads are essential to survival. But the game trails and uncharted waters too serve a purpose. For smugglers, ascetics, venturers, hunters, raiders, refugees, and others who may need a path few would travel. Every path offers an opportunity for trade. As peoples come together, the desire for goods and services not found in their homeland grows. Being a trader on Ascensscia is not a matter of shrewd economics, but of necessity and demand. Traders come with a manifesto of resources they or clients can provide to a market bustling with 1,000 different peoples. Small deals happen between individuals on a pragmatic basis. Larger trades occur like an auction, with the highest bidder offering resources they may be unable to pay, thus forcing them to work their clients to madness or death. An event which results in the former trader being brutally killed and having their wealth redistributed, with the new trader offering their own money to pay for debt. Once the trade is completed, the resources are exchanged and the trader passes to another trade station. Thus begins the cycle again. Only the wealthy can afford to not stop and trade locally and come with their own full goods to bustling ports. Traders and their entourages are bands of sellswords and hunters who are contracted secondarily to accrue wealth
through unscrupulous means allotted by their position in society and the distance which laws can reach them. The existence of black markets is owed to traders, who would prefer to have dealings no equitable trade post would sanction. Trade is also how much of the news around the world travels. And that is all that I must say. Yet, if one shall hearken to these words of one whom has come and gone, loved and been loved, lost and been lost, I shall tell you that one must stay on the roads, and you shall live, for no road was ever built where too many souls were lost.
And of course, dear adventurers, thank you all for listening to this tale of mortality. May chaos reign. Bye-bye. Tales of Mortality is a world-building podcast set in the world of Ascensscia, created and owned by Bard over 18 years and counting. It is a fantasy world of horror and madness, a planet racked by mutation and magic, where humanity survives only through itself and the Spirit Indomitable, against horrors, natural and unnatural. I, Bard, am the world builder, writer, producer, and artist featured within this video. A transcription of lore is featured below, as is my Instagram, Bard of the Mad Realm, where any and all art for Ascensscia will be posted. May chaos reign. Thank you all for listening.